This isn't up to the Democrats, right? We're not the ones that are going to shut the government down. The question is if we will do everything to keep the government open. But right now they have a Trump trifecta. So when and if the government shuts down, it is going to be on Trump and his minions. It is not going to be on us as Democrats.
Señores, la situación para los republicanos no puede estar peor. O al menos eso pensábamos. Siempre encuentran, ¿no?, esta forma de hacer el ridículo o estar en problemas. En esta ocasión, lo que los tiene temblando es la posibilidad de un cierre de gobierno, porque parece que no tienen los votos necesarios. O sea que podrían estar necesitando a los demócratas para poder evitar este cierre. Pues bueno, aquí es donde entra Jasmine Crockett, quien no solo les dio un golpe directo, sino que les dijo la verdad en la cara. Y lo hizo de una manera que, sinceramente, amigos, da gusto de ver. Veamos qué es lo que dijo Jasmine Crockett.
Joining me now, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. She's a member of the House Oversight Committee. Congresswoman, welcome back to the Sunday show. It's been a long time since we've spoken. So can I just get your reaction to what we've been seeing through Elon Musk's wrecking ball through the federal government, and specifically through this news coming out of USAID tonight that 2,000 people will find out today that they've been fired?
Yeah, so a couple of things. First of all, I just have to say thank you to the American people because clearly your resilience and your resistance, it is right there front and center where we need it to be. The fact that they showed up in record numbers all over the country, showing up and confronting those members of Congress that have decided, as I stated in a hearing the other week, that they wanted to castrate their constitutional duties. So I am excited to see that the American people are not sitting by idly and pretending as if they don't understand how the three co-equal branches of government work. Unfortunately, the Republicans in the House have decided they don't really care. Whatever Elon wants to do, who cares that they got elected to office? They're going to collect their checks. They're going to take the congressional delegation trips around the world, and that's pretty much all they're going to do and campaign for the next election through sitting through committees. But at the same time, we know that Elon Musk supposedly does not have any authority whatsoever, according to the White House, at least in their court filings. But the idea that this guy thinks that he can go in and send out an email to the entire federal government and have everyone report to him when at the same time they're saying that he has no authority is bewildering to me. But I'm going to tell you who also has shocked me. Some of the leaders of these organizations that have said we are not going to relinquish our duties. We understand our jobs. We understand that these people report to us and they don't report to Musk. And so with that, I do want to applaud anybody that at this moment has the audacity to actually do what they were either elected to do or do exactly what they are paid to do.
Congresswoman, there are a lot of people who still are out there wondering, where's the fire and the fight from elected Democrats? Where are they? Why aren't they bringing, fighting fire with fire? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that critique? And two, do you think the Democrats in Congress are getting better at pushing back against what's happening?
I think that we're struggling from a lot of the things that we struggled from during the campaign, which was that we may be pushing back, but that doesn't necessarily mean that people can hear us or see us. Some of us have the ability to be a little bit more amiable when it comes to working in different types of platforms, and therefore you end up being seen a lot more. I will tell you that I have conversations consistently, day and night. There are so many chats that we have where we are talking about what we're going to do, and we're talking about what we are doing. But a matter of amplifying those things is a lot more difficult. And I think that it's important that those of us that sit in Congress have to figure out what is really the best way for us to communicate. And we've got to settle into that and recognize that not everyone's going to sit on a podcast, not everyone's going to be social media savvy, but they are going to have to find their communication lane. And so I do think that it is something that we struggle with. We know right now we obviously have X that's owned by Elon. We've also got the other news network that I won't name, and some other things. So there's an actual ecosystem that pumps out this disinformation consistently on behalf of them.
Congresswoman, let me get you on a policy thing. I'm going to play for you what Leader Jeffries said on CNN today when asked whether a shutdown was on the table, because we have that March 14th deadline coming up. Listen to what he has to say, and I'll talk with you about it on the other side.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, because as we've been discussing, we have to stop this reckless Republican budget from going forward, and that's going to be on the floor on Tuesday. What we do know is that the Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It is their responsibility to fund the government.
Congresswoman, do Democrats have the stomach to withhold votes from Republicans in order to keep the government open?
I certainly hope so. I know that I'm not going to vote for their proposal for sure. Here's the thing. Our strength lies in standing together. And honestly, that is a message that not only applies to us that are sitting in the House, but that actually applies to Democrats across the board. The more that we can stand together, the stronger we are. Everyone knows united we stand, divided we fall. And so we were divided in the election. We can't allow them to divide us at this moment. I have reached out to my colleagues and asked if there are colleagues that are concerned. Talk to me about what those concerns are, because I want to make sure that we can provide cover for them if they have concerns and feel as if they are compelled to vote for this budget. But the leader is absolutely correct, and I hate the headlines that keep saying the Democrats may shut the government down. This isn't up to the Democrats, right? We're not the ones that are going to shut the government down. The question is if we will do everything to keep the government open. But right now they have a Trump trifecta. So when and if the government shuts down, it is going to be on Trump and his minions. It is not going to be on us as Democrats, because we weren't elected to gut Social Security, to gut Medicaid and Medicare, to gut USAID, to gut any of these programs that they're going after. We didn't, that's not what we campaigned on. So that's not what we're going to do. We'll let them to do that by themselves.
Lo ven, ¿no? O sea, yo lo he dicho una y otra vez, pero es algo que yo creo que no podemos dejar pasar. Los medios siempre le lanzan este tipo de preguntas a los demócratas, como si fuese la responsabilidad de los demócratas resolver el desastre que los republicanos arman una y otra vez. Van a ayudar a los republicanos a evitar el cierre del gobierno. O sea, como si los demócratas fuesen los que tienen el control del Congreso, ¿no? Y no son la mayoría. No son los que están bloqueando todo. Pero al parecer siempre les toca ser los adultos en la sala. Y ojo que, según los mismos republicanos, Donald Trump ganó el mandato más grande de la historia, ¿no? Con un apoyo masivo del pueblo, con una victoria aplastante. Entonces, ¿por qué no pueden gobernar? ¿Por qué no pueden ni siquiera aprobar un presupuesto sin hacer todo un circo? Y eso, amigos, que si nos vamos a los que ellos mismos dicen, se supone que hay tantos desperdicios en el gobierno, ¿no? O sea, si de verdad creen eso, ¿por qué solo quieren renovar el mismo presupuesto en lugar de hacer uno nuevo? Pero claro, si los demócratas terminan ayudando a aprobar una resolución de continuidad, los republicanos saldrán a decir que fue culpa de los demócratas, que ellos apoyaron el supuesto despilfarro. Es el mismo cuento de siempre. Adivinen que nada de eso es verdad. La realidad, amigos, es que los demócratas, una vez más, son los que están tratando de evitar que el país literalmente se hunda cuando hablamos de cierre de gobierno por culpa de los republicanos. Porque si fuese por ellos, todo se caería en pedazos. Por eso, amigos, es que me encantó lo que está haciendo, por ejemplo, Jasmine Crockett, ¿no? No está cayendo en este juego barato. Está dejando en claro que los republicanos no saben gobernar, que solo saben obstruir, que lo único que hacen con las manos es señalar a otros, echar culpas, lo que siempre hace Donald Trump. No pueden decir que han logrado algo porque no han hecho absolutamente nada. O sea, son el partido del caos, del estancamiento. Y si no pueden manejar su propio desastre, pues que sean responsables, ¿no? Porque sinceramente nadie más tiene la culpa de esta ineptitud republicana. Pues bueno, hablando justamente de esto, quiero también que vean lo que dijo el otro día Bernie Sanders al respecto, ¿no? Pongamos el clip.
They're very smart guys, they work very hard. And one of the things that they do, which is very powerful and effective, is they essentially get the word out in one way or another to the people of this country that says, look, we're multi-billionaires, we own the media, we own the political process, we own the company that you work for. We got the power, you don't. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Your job is to work for us. That's what your job is. And they want to, when they say those things implicitly, what they are trying to do is demoralize the American people and make us feel hopeless. Oh, God, we can't do anything. That's what they want you to believe. It ain't true. If we do not allow Trump and his friends to divide us up by the color of our skin or our religion or where we were born or our sexual orientation, if we stand together, we win. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a PhD in math, but I do know that 99% is a hell of a larger number than 1%. So now is the time to go outside of our comfort zone. Now is not the time for despair, for feeling helpless. Now is the time to stand up, to fight back, to take on Trumpism, and not only to defeat Trumpism, but to create the kind of great nation we know we can become. Thank you all very much.
Me encanta, ¿no? La manera en la cual lo resumen. O sea, no se trata solo de esta pelea contra Trump y su locura. Se trata de usar esta lucha para poder construir algo mejor, para poder demostrar que el gobierno puede servir realmente al pueblo. No solo decir no a Trump, sino plantear una alternativa real. Porque miren amigos, los demócratas tienen algo que los republicanos jamás van a tener. Es esta energía, es este impulso, son propuestas reales que existen para poder mejorar la vida de la gente, ¿no? Bernie lo está haciendo, ¿no? Alexandria Cortés, Ocasio-Cortés, lo está haciendo, ¿no? Chris Murphy lo está haciendo. Por supuesto, Jasmine Crockett lo está haciendo día tras día. No solo es para bloquear a Trump y esta pandilla de incompetentes, es para ofrecer algo diferente, ¿no? Porque en serio, ¿quién quiere un país donde los aviones se caen del cielo por falta de regulaciones, por despidos masivos? ¿Quién quiere un país donde se cortan fondos al Medicare, al Seguro Social, dejando pues prácticamente en bancarrota a los jubilados? Donde la bancarrota médica es el principal causa de una ruina financiera para miles y miles de familias. Eso, amigos, no es futuro, no lo es. Eso es una pesadilla. Entonces, amigos, hay que pelear por un camino distinto, no solo seguir aceptando la misma basura de siempre. Se necesitan propuestas, se necesitan soluciones, se necesita un futuro en el que las personas puedan vivir con dignidad. Y eso es lo que hay que reforzar todos los días. Muchas gracias por haber acompañado hasta el final de este video. Como siempre amigos, si me quieren apoyar, dale un like al video, compártelo con tus amigos, suscríbete a nuestro canal Políticamente en Desacuerdo, porque aquí seguiremos dándole voz a esta lucha. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Hasta luego.